Hello and welcome to Bespoke Unit. My name is Rafael, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a deep dive on the Seiko 5 Sports SRPD85. Now, as you can see here, this is no regular Seiko 5 Sports. This is part of the Sense subcollection or subfamily within the broader Seiko 5 Sports model line. Evidently, Seiko has taken a lot more creative liberty and played around with the colors, the textures, the straps, the metals, the case coatings, and the dialed textures. Anyways, I'll be getting into all those details and much more in the review, so let's get started. And here we have it, the Seiko 5 Sports SRPD85. Now, we can see here, this is the brown theme. This being part of the Seiko 5 Sports Sense collection, where it seems like Seiko is taking some creative liberty here with the designs that they create. But I gotta say, I'm a fan of this one. I have seen it be trashed online. Some people calling it the ugliest Seiko ever, or the ugliest Seiko 5 Sports, and I gotta say I disagree. I will admit that if you had told me that there's a watch with a brown theme, I would have been put off by that thought at first, but on the wrist, I've actually become quite a big fan of this now. As far as dimensions, this is a traditional 42.5 that we've seen on all the Seiko 5 Sports, as well as the traditional, or the old school SKX, 42.5 in diameter. This is going to be 46 lug to lug. Looks like slightly less here in this measurement, and the thickness is officially 13.4, and I'm getting just a little under, or right at 13 here actually. Strap size is going to be the universal 22, so no issue finding a different strap for this watch. But I quite like this NATO. It's coming through a little dark here, but it is a brown, again, to match the theme of the watch. This case is stainless steel. What may initially look as bare stainless steel is actually coated, or it has a hard coating, as Seiko refers to it, which is brown. I wouldn't really call this bronze. It's not dark enough to be bronze, so it is quite unique in its tone. I have a stainless steel here, and you can see that there is a slight difference. It does look slightly darker. By the way, this is the SRPD85, which we have previously reviewed on the channel, so if you want to know more about it, you can go check it out. Now, this being the new Seiko 5 Sports line, as all the other ones, it's going to have a hardlex crystal. It's going to have our new non-screw down crown. As you can hear there, I can wind it without having to move it manually with my hand or anything like that, but I'll get into the movement in a second. So we do have our diver's bezel here, unidirectional. No luminous pip, as one would have expected with the traditional SKX model, but that's the lack of the lume pip on the bezel is true for all these new Seiko 5 Sports. You can see there, it's quite precise, so no issues there with QC. Matching insert here. It does look to be either aluminum or some sort of metal. The printing or the numerals are silver, like a metallic silver, so they do give a nice contrast here. Moving on to the dial, we have this dark brown texture dial. I'm trying to catch it there in the light, which again, not traditional by any means, and not something that I would have personally picked out, but I'm surprised how well this works. As you can see there, we do have the large applied luminous indices. The hands are also luminous. This is Lumibright, so at night it's going to be a bright green. Seikos are well known for their bright luminous. Let's see if I can get the hands there. It may look like black on the camera, but it is, again, a glossy brown to match the rest of the watch. Now, perhaps the centerpiece is that seconds hand, which is, again, a super contrasting teal color, but I would have never picked teal to go with brown, and I gotta say, it works really, really well. Of course, we have contrasting day and date window there. Now, I do want to cycle through, because depending on where the watch is made, I know I'm outside the danger zone there, so depending on where the watch is made, You will have different languages. Now this is English, as you can see, and what looks to be Arabic. And of course, Saturday and Sunday are going to have different colors. Very nice. Now before I move on to the movement, let's check out the strap. Now as you can see, we do have matching hardware here. The keepers they have the same coating as the case. Nice slight brush finish here with the branding. But again, the color scheme is used throughout the watch and looks great. Now let me remove this here so that we can get a better look at the movement. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, the lugs are straight through lugs. So if you did want to change the strap, maybe try it on a different color or something like that, perhaps a rubber strap, it'll be super easy and you won't risk damaging the underside of your lugs. Now, as we can see here, the watch has a sapphire case back, so we can get a good look there at the Seiko movement. That is the 4R36. This is a self-winding movement there. As you can see, we have the winding rotor. It is 41 hours power reserve. If I'm not mistaken, this is 24 joules. Yep, you can see it there. Accuracy is going to be about plus 45, minus 35 seconds per day. So, you know, just about what you'd expect with a Seiko of this caliber. One last thing on the movement, we'll check this out on the front. Just a second here. Is the fact that this movement has, as I showed you earlier, you can wind it here at position 0, which is a huge convenience factor, and hacking seconds. So you can see there the seconds hand stops. So what this allows me to do is to get super precise while I'm setting the time. You can see crown is back in. Again, no screw down crown, which reduces the water resistance for this watch. Again, this case is quite similar to the traditional SKX, which had 200 meter water resistance. This, without the screw down crown, is going to be just 100 meters. And I say just as if that's not very deep. But again, for your regular uses, anything that you're doing that's not actual diving, 100 meters, which is about 330 feet, that's going to be more than enough. If you're going in the pool, if you're going in the ocean, or at least in the beach, not necessarily the deep, then you'll be more than set with this watch. I'll get one last close look so you can see the texture there of the dial. But again, not traditional or not a traditional color scheme by any means, but I've really become quite a fan of it. I think it looks great as a casual watch, and I was pleasantly surprised. And there you have it. That's our review of the Seiko 5 Sports SRPD85. Now, if this video left you with any questions or comments, make sure to leave them in the section below. Check the description for links to see the latest pricing on this piece, as it can change depending on who's selling and when you're checking. As always, give us a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe to our channel for more wristwatch and men's lifestyle content. As always, I'm Rafael. This is Bespoke Unit. Thanks for watching.